So what Apple CarPlay is it's a smarter, more beautiful, and more fun way to use your iPhone inside of the car. As you can see, it's instantly familiar and recognizable as an iPhone experience, and it's very much on purpose. We want users to use CarPlay and say, you know what, I already know how to use it because it's very familiar to me.
Okay.
We focus on the applications that make the most sense inside of a vehicle. These are phone, music, maps, messages, and third-party audio.
Okay.
And we use Siri is integrated throughout CarPlay because we want to make sure that you can access it without having to look at it if you need to. So let me take you through a couple of the different features. So let's do phone first.
Okay.
Who would you like to call?
Mom.
John Appleseed.
Calling John Appleseed.
So we can use Siri to make calls, right?
Okay.
We're actually not going to let John Appleseed pick up because I don't want to wake him up back home. But because all of the information is coming from your phone, all of your contacts and favorites and etc. are all there on the phone on the screen. Another big part of your phone is music, right? So we have our great iTunes Radio, which is available in the US and Australia, I believe, which is our streaming radio service, so we can go ahead and play iTunes Radio.
Can we call somebody at the same time?
We just did.
Well, while listening to music.
So if you're listening to music and you make a call, then the music will stop while the call happens.
Okay.
Yeah. In addition to iTunes Radio, we have all of your Genius playlists, your regular playlists, and your artists as well are all kind of held that are on your device are here through CarPlay. Right? In addition to music, Maps is a really important part of driving, right? And it's one of my favorite features. When you look at Maps, we have our great kind of familiar Apple Maps layout. But I think the really intelligent thing is in our destinations. We kind of pre-populate this list with places you've already searched for, places that are in your calendar, places that are in your emails, in your text messages. They all get brought into here, so so you can kind of find out where you should be going very easily. If, of course, what you're looking for is not here, you can always search using Siri.
Where would you like to go?
Find a museum.
I found 12 museums pretty close to you.
So we can go to one of our first choices and start our turn-by-turn directions. So we have the beautiful Apple Maps turn-by-turn directions.
Okay, are there destinations I've been to before using it on the car?
Are there destinations that you've been to before using it on the car? Yeah. So like I said before, there's destinations from your email, from your text messages.
Okay, so
even if you've never been to them before, if there are places on your phone where your phone says, you know what, it makes sense that you would be going to these places, it'll offer them up for you.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. The final bit of this is messages. Text messages, I think, are an incredibly important feature, and in the car it gets kind of tricky. So we take the stance that we're always going to use Siri and never write the body of the message up on the screen.
To whom shall I send this?
Brian Conway.
Okay, what do you want to say to Brian Conway?
Let's get dinner later.
Your message to Brian Conway says, let's get dinner later. Ready to send it? Okay.
So we can send using a mixture of Siri and your normal interactions. Here's all of your past conversations that you might have had. The incoming message from Brian Conway.
You have a message for Brian Conway. That sounds good. Would you like to reply?
No, thank you.
That's the last message.
So we can interact with our messages using Siri, and you're never reading the actual text message itself.
Okay, that's impressive.
In addition to that, we have some third-party audio, which is we realize our users are big fans of. One such as Spotify. Spotify is a great radio streaming service out here in Switzerland, and they were very happy to be in this Volvo. You can browse all of the standard different categories that Spotify uses. You can see it looks very different from our music system. They even made a special playlist for this concept car, so you can play songs directly from Spotify as well.
Okay.
Iheartradio is another third-party audio system. It's one that's big in the United States. It does local radio, AM and FM.
Okay. Are there going to be other applications?
So on our website, you'll see a list of some of the third-party audio manufacturers who have already started working on some things for CarPlay, and we're always happy to meet our users and meet their needs.
Okay, right now if I want to ask something to Siri, is there a button I'm supposed to?
Yeah, there's a couple different ways. So in addition to just going into phone or messages, which
Yes,
automatically starts
yeah.
it, you can do a long press on this home, or
Okay.
you can do a long press on the steering wheel.
Oh,
You can
okay.
do either. Find a sushi restaurant.
Looking for sushi restaurants.
Oh,
You can see
okay.
it automatically brings you into the maps context. You can
Okay,
navigate there.
awesome. So you never have to like take off your eyes from the road, which
I
is
mean-
really safe.
We try to offer as many things, as many intuitive and useful tools in order to keep our drivers safe.